chamber music. The bud bursts forth young, tender, shooting upward till the heat breaks them in half or makes them bow down. A new shape emerges, adulthood. Sometimes that shape is never comfortable. Youth hangs on in ways that we don't recognize. Grandma used to listen to Tony Bennett and smile, this secret smile. It lit her up within. She said that Tony understood life better than most, that he kept her young at heart. She seemed silly. In my eyes, a heart could never get old. It was either alive or dead. It was a constant beat, and I would place my hand on my heart and feel reassured that it was still there. In school, we counted the number of times our heart beat. We learned that our hearts have 4 chambers, that the aorta is the most important vein, that it goes right down the middle. It made sense to me. My home is my heart, and each room contained a person that filled my life, though some rooms were big enough for 2. When Mommy told me that Daddy had an aortic rupture, I didn't quite get it. That's impossible. Daddy's heart needs that. Miss Luce told us in school, I said, watching my mother's head bow down with the weight of her adulthood. From that moment on, she began to take a new shape, and only Grandma played music for months. My new Mommy slouched and had black rings that made half moons beneath her eyes. Daddy's goneness echoed through our lives. Each day it beat on, and we breathed to that beat. With each breath, I knew that my heart went on, despite a constant flood of feelings I didn't quite recognize. Though I was young, adulthood began to tug at me. I began to smile when I had a bad day at school and play quietly because bounding through the house shattered the fragile cocoon that we had encased ourselves in. It was after Daddy's death that we began to garden. It was a frigid, slushy spring, and every afternoon I would find Mommy wearing bright yellow boots and this ratty sweater. It had a few small holes, but was incredibly soft. Her hands would be caked in mud and sometimes snow. Grandma always shouted, "Hello, my wild thing," and gave me a hug when I came home from school. She never had a snack ready. We would slice apples and place them on dough to make apple cakes with cinnamon. She introduced me to kimchi, which crackled in my mouth. My favorite was jicama, a white crunchy root. Chomping into it felt like biting something clean. Mommy's hands were black. Jicama snapped in half. Grandma played Tony Bennett, which hummed in and out of the beating that throbbed within us.